Sarah was so excited to fall pregnant, but now she's scared. The only private maternity ward in her area is set to close. With the public hospital already stretched, it's left many expectant mothers facing long travel times to deliver their babies. And it's becoming an all too common trend.
Begin your new life with us, but only until March next year.
It is a huge step backwards. It's really unacceptable.
Right next to photos of newborn babies and their doting parents is an important notice on the Gosford Private Maternity website. We are no longer taking bookings.
The public system is fantastic, but they're under a lot more stress.
The only private maternity ward on the New South Wales Central Coast will end its services in March next year. It means Sarah, who planned to give birth privately, has a difficult decision to make.
For me, I can choose to stay with my obstetrician who can birth me in the public, Gosford Public, or I can choose to leave my obstetrician, find a new one and birth either in Newcastle or Sydney.
Travelling over an hour or so doesn't seem like the best option for an expecting mum.
I want to birth close to home, close to my support network, my immediate family, near my daughter. So yeah, for me it's really unsettling.
Gosford Private Maternity, now run by Healthy Care, has been operating for more than 25 years. In fact, even Sarah herself was born there, and it's where she delivered her first child. The hospital is blaming its closure on a decline in patient numbers, arguing there's been a 40% drop over a 10-year period. But the figures don't add up. According to data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the birth rate in the area has been steadily increasing since at least 2017.
There is a baby born on the Central Coast every 2 hours. And so nobody wants to be on the M1 giving birth in the back of a car.
Obstetrician Dr. Peter Skilbeck runs a private clinic and delivers at Gosford Private.
With a private obstetrician, you have continuity of care with regards to seeing the same medical practitioner. So it's ideal in that you see that practitioner throughout your pregnancy for all your antenatal appointments, but you also have that person attend for the birth in the very large majority of cases and follow you up for that first 6 weeks if there's any problems after.
Plenty of people do give birth in the public hospital and have wonderful experiences. What are your concerns?
A lot of the patients I see are women who are older, have gone through long fertility treatments, significant anxiety and depression, and I think they really do need that continuity of care and reassurance with their chosen doctor.
Healthy Care is Australia's third largest private hospital operator. It was sold to a Chinese medical group in 2015 for more than $900 million, with plans to build more hospitals in Australia and to expand into China. But the group's done the opposite, also closing Tuggerah Private Hospital here on the Central Coast this time last year, less than 5 years after it opened.
Tuggerah Private reopened in June this year but doesn't offer any maternity services.
This issue really affects a group of women who will give birth early next year. What position does this leave them in?
So they're actually our priority at the moment. They're the victims, they're the true victims here.
Sarah falls into that category.
My questions are, what, things are the public going to put in place to absorb that additional patient load? Will I be, on the ward in the maternity ward, or will I be on a ward somewhere else in the hospital? Will I have the same access to midwives and their support and expertise?
About 70 private hospitals have closed around the country since 2019. 8 private maternity wards have shut in the past 18 months, including Northwest Private Hospital in Burnie, Tasmania, Cairns Private Hospital, Mater Private Hospital in Redland, Queensland, Epworth Private in Geelong and Sunshine Private Hospital in Melbourne's West. And Sydney's Southwest Private Maternity will close in December. While there are closures, many have also opened. Private hospitals are costing the federal government and patients about $20 billion a year. Bianca considers herself lucky. She's due to give birth just weeks before the doors at Gosford Private shut. But she's nervous midwives will begin looking for other jobs and the hospital will be under-resourced.
We're going to have access to everything we would have had access to if the hospital wasn't closing that month.
This is Bianca's second pregnancy and she hopes to increase her family in the future. But it could now mean packing up and moving.
Should I stay on the coast, or actually do I look at moving back to Sydney or moving north to Newcastle? You don't want to be spending an hour on the road in the middle of labour. The M1 is a nightmare at the best of times, let alone going through something like that.
I've grown up here. I have a daughter. My friends have daughters. I would like them to have the full range of options that have been around for the last 33 years. And I think, I think it's a huge step backwards.
Yeah, it is a massive step backwards at a time when we should be easing pressure on our public health system. This makes no sense at all.